Can you all see me and hear me? Let me go ahead and kill my music here. Big raid. Cool, you can hear me. Welcome everybody. You coming over from the raid? Or starting a raid? Yeah, Absinthe, I got the starting soon screen up there. I was still messing around. Woohoo! Whoa! That's a lot of hype emotes. Rainer, how you doing, man? Sorry, Musefi, I don't have any cupcakes in here. Alright, let me kill the external music here. And I forgot to boot up my darn open source music in case I want to stick this on YouTube. Warboy's here. Musefi's here. Akazi. Ooh, that's a new name. Shooty. Scorpion. Who else is here? Do a little romper room roll call here. Absinthe. Okay. Beer Seeker. Oh, I got followed. Something happened. Nick P1. Come on in, man. Let's put a little steampunk music on. That should be good. So how's everybody doing today? Scorpion, did you have a good stream? Who dat? Dash 2. Thank you for the follow. Ah, you're all bombing my jar here. Scorpion! Or Scorpio, 11. Welcome. Just screwing with my playlist, sorry. How's the audio for the desktop? Push it up a little bit so you can hear it. Oh, the Huff's here. Sindri. Hairy Dog. Guillotinus. I'm going to call this guy Berserk. Funny spelling people. All right. Look, bases, everybody. Shooty, thank you for the follow, man. Oh, reaching for my coffee. Right into the camera shot. How about that? How unprofessional. Okay, I'm just waiting for everybody to get comfy, to include me. Gotta get my materials out. Spongy Paint, thank you for the follow. Wow, a lot of followers today. Yep, gotta put some heroic music on in the background. There, those guys ought to make you laugh. This paint job is about Oh, 15 years old? And out of focus. So what we'll do is we'll zoom the camera out, and I'll just hold it up. Yeah, I was going through some of my models, and this was a painting competition model for a long, long time ago. But it was an internet one, so lousy camera, didn't show up very well, didn't win. Yeah, this was a scout conversion. The old Space Wolf scouts, I cut them off at the waist, and I had some Astarte legs. There was a piece of artwork in the original 3rd edition Space Wolf Codex, and he had the power armored legs, and he was striding forward with a shotgun, and just looked really good. And I think the shotguns for the new Death Watch look a whole lot better. We should put some of those on a scout, see how he looks. Like he's got extra arm braces for the recoil of the shotgun. Yeah, my nose is itching. I got an itchy nose. Oh, I got the wrong music for Graybeard lessons planners. Yeah, let me put that on pause for a second and do a little humor here. Welcome everybody to Professor Graybeard's wonderful little tutorial on how to make rocky bases out of crackle paint. All right, that's enough of that. That was for Mystic Scorpion, who has given me a new nickname, which I think is hilarious. Lost in the damn formation? What lost in the damn formation? You guys all gaming right now? Gaming while listening? Okay, I'm going to put some bottles here down. Put these things down to see if they can be read. Nope, they can't because the focus is off. There we go. Welcome, class. Hey, Mr. Scorpio, if you're going to eat on stream, you have to bring enough for everybody. We was hungry. Especially the ribs. Bring the ribs. You're looking for some cupcakes. I don't have any cupcakes. I'm only subscribed to Kenny, so all I only got is the Yo Dog emotes. You know, I'm not a partner, so I don't have any emotes, and I don't have subscriptions. I'm new. I'm still kind of new. Yeah, the +1 on the Cultist is a lot better than 2 rolls and getting double units back. That's more fair. I actually, if I got any of my friends in El Paso, the local gaming store down there from Military Game Supply, which is down below the window, they sent 5 or 6 people to LVO, and 2 of the guys are actually 4-0 going into the last round. They're all having a blast, and they're doing some destruction. Everybody probably knows Kenny Boucher's got his 2 knights down there, and he actually got some D hits and stomped out some Demon Princes. My Magnus is there with the El Paso team, Team Sex Panther. Vincent Arroyo's got the Magnus, and I think he's still having fun with them. Still having a lot of fun. So I actually got models that go to better places than I do. Yes, welcome to Tutorial Hour, Smooth Jazz. I don't know. I can use my beard as sandpaper sometimes. You know, the gray hairs aren't as fine as the rest of them. Okay, but I can't. What Mystic Scorpion said, I've had enough. Too bad we don't have food share of vision. Yeah. Well, just post pictures of the food. Munching pretzels. Okay, this is the experiment I have all set up for everybody because I kind of went through it already. And, somewhat ill-prepared. I kind of went through it once, but I'm going to do it again for myself, and I decided to share it with you guys, which is I have AdMech to paint up for a client. And these are the bases that go with the Cataphront Breachers. Yeah, big base for a little tiny tank body. Sorry, I had to do the toy model sound. So this is Crackle paint. I'm not going to tell you which formula it is because we're all going to go through the experiment together. All my bases are primed, and they got a coat. Well, before they got a coat, I had to put some putty on them. The newer bases with all the little nipples in the center of them. So I got the Tamiya putty out, put that down there, left it bumpy. Then I came in with some Vallejo Hull Red to give it a good base coat. So I've got a brown underneath whatever's going to crack the paint's going to be. War tractors, yeah. Yes, they do look like epic Land Raiders. It's like I should grab one of the little ones and then put it next to one of my Land Raider models, and they're like, wow, the new ones really are bigger. Somebody did that when the Rhino kit upgraded. He grabbed an epic Rhino, and then he got the new Mark II version of it, and they put them on the picture. It's like, wow, the new ones really are bigger. No, I'm non-ferrous. It's not that iron-headed. You know, it's not physically iron-headed. You know, otherwise my neck would snap or it'd be huge. Today, class. Oh, excuse me. Base nipples. Yeah, they had base nipples. It was awful. Oh, I put the rest of them back. But those you folks probably have seen them recently. It's kind of terrible. Okay, so I set up a little system here of what we're going to do a test, which is also listed down below. So I've got plain, primer, and its base coat. Next to it, I've got the Crackle Medium on top of that, and that actually had to wait a while to dry. That's why these 3 rows are glossy. Now this is just ordinary Crackle Medium folk art. You can get it at the craft store. Easy to get, pretty inexpensive. But its reliability is, we're testing that today. So this is absolutely no Crackle, just Crackle Medium, and then we'll put the paint on top of it. These 2 rows will be our Martian Iron Earth, and then our Iron Crust, which is, this is the newer product, guys, on top of Crackle Medium to see how it responds. And then these last 2 rows here will be no Crackle Medium, just the paint, and we'll put them on by themselves, and we'll see how it goes. And then I might flip-flop and do them in different orders. And if you all bear with it, you can actually see Crackle being effective when we put it on. So what we're going to need is a whole bunch of spatulas. Lots of spatulas, and probably some paper towel. So what we're going to do... Oh, I didn't pick out a paint for this row. For this row. What color should we put there? How about a little bit of a little skag brown? Okay. Now, these coats got put down really thick. So the paint is going to have to be thick as well. The thicker the paint is on top of the Crackle Medium, the better it's going to perform. Which means we probably want to have some really thick paint. Which is probably not the GW paint. Why don't we just get the really thick stuff out now? And quick palette. My quick palette. Glazed ceramic. There we go. That's red. And just need one nasty brush. One El Cheapo brush. Oh, not even thick enough. So we're jumping right into the lesson plan. And we're going to go even thicker. This is just paint over Crackle Medium. And then we're going to go thin. All right. Wipe that off on the paper towel. Yes and no, Sindri. I'll have other things to do. But I'm actually doing an experiment for you that might help you. And that's a $4 bottle of technical paint. That was $7.50. This was $1. I'm actually going to save you some money and show you how it went beforehand. Yes, literally watching paint dry. Or paint cure. Ooh. Here we go, guys. Look at this. Only after a few minutes. That's thin, that's medium with some cracking up here. Here's the thick stuff. But look at this cracking here. It's happening right before your eyes. It's drying, guys. So, yeah, you're watching paint dry and paint cure, but then again, doesn't look like it's too bad. Now, if you want to see some really crazy magic, Iron Earth, the older product, as a technical paint, and this is spatula work right here. And don't worry, these bases aren't going to get wasted. These are going to go on for Rangers and Vanguards. There we go. I can actually not use... I can use a brush on this stuff because there's no sand in it, like the Iron Crust has sand in it. Okay, going extra thick here. And then medium thickness here. So just like Iron Headed, all our rows here are a little bit thicker in the middle. Nyek, 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 nyek. My spatula is a coffee stirring stick that you can swipe from any Starbucks. Seagith, thank you for the follow, man. Come on in, come watch some weird stuff. Look at this, guys. It's already crackling. This is the thin stuff. Medium stuff's behind it. We're actually starting to get some crackle in here. But here's the GW stuff. Let me see if I can adjust the light somehow to cut glare. Move the arm of the lamp here to at least make a shadow. And then I'll adjust my lights here. Play with the white balance up. No, just put white balance on auto. And then laugh at it and then go back here. John Begum! Yes, Graybeard Crackle Master. Sounds like a D&D spellcaster. He's cracked. He's really cracked. Okay. On the medium up top here, we're starting to get crackle. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Stick the autofocus on. Which is useless. Yeah, it's grainy because I'm power zoomed in so far. But you can already start to see crackle. This stuff is going crazy down here. Now, guys, this is the like $1, $2 row. Now, I did use folk art paint that actually product matches the Crackle. It's already thick. Its pigments is thicker. Archmage Crackle Master. Yes, how dare you? Get out of my tower. Take the hobbits with you, too. They steal shit. Okay, let me just double check my settings so this is actually can show what's happening. Up here you can start to see Crackle, but it is actually really going Crackle crazy. How about that? Now I'm trying this out also for a friend down in El Paso who has been trying to do lava bases, which needs bigger cracks. You know, this is almost lava-ish, but, you know, the lava flow has already kind of left the caldera and is just drying on the ground. Kirby Jerusalem. Do I use the Creepo craft paint? Yes, I do. It all depends on the project. I used to use it a whole lot, and then I started getting a little bit of money, and I was able to afford other things. But I still have the craft paint. I tend to use it on vehicles, and if I'm doing terrain pieces, I'll show you one later. Okay, Martian Iron Crust. It actually has sand in it. The iron crust up here. There's no Crackle Medium on these bases. On this column. And now I gotta get a whole bunch out. And see how these perform. It's a race! Now, I actually saw some examples in the store I was in yesterday. And if anybody's seen the War Machine bases, which are very rounded bevels, and they have a indentation in the center where the miniature goes, so you can build up your own terrain. They filled it in with the iron crust, and it was these beautiful volcanic cracks. Dark Comedy! Hello! Did you bring the Irish whiskey, Dark Comedy? We could use a little bit. No, actually, I don't need any. But everybody else might. Yeah, John Bingham, watch this. I got my mediums. I got my airbrush mediums in here. I've got a lot of craft paint. I also have a shoebox filled with craft paints. I actually like this light red oxide here for Martian bases. It is just this awesome orangey red. I also have this old paint. Ralph Partha Paints. Dragon red, very old, got to be 20 years old. Problem is, there isn't much left in it at the bottom, but it's still great. I've just added water to it to keep it going. And it dries very matte and crusty. So the first bases I showed, the large ones, this was using the Dragon Red. Yeah, the LVO coverage is up, guys. Okay, crackliness. Let's check. Wow, this one really went nuts. The medium coat. And the medium coat of just paint on top. Here, let me tilt it so you can see, get the glare out. There we go. See, the thick rows are not barely doing anything, but the thick paint is having a hard time drying, but it is crackling. Now, here's the Iron Earth, GW's Iron Earth, and it's already starting to dry and crackle. Its medium coat has already hit the crackle stage. This coat wasn't thin enough, but it's crackling up high on its ridge line. So if you can see the black lines, that's where it's crackling. Now here's the Iron Earth and its thin coat. It's starting to crackle. These are not going to crackle for a little while, but when they do, oh boy, they'll split. So what I'm going to do is I'll finish off the last column. Ta-da! Medium coat. Oh, thin coat. And blob it on. And when I say blob it on, I mean it's pile of paste. And that's the Iron Earth. This was even an older bottle, I could tell when I picked it up. But supporting the local game stores, buying their stuff. Nick P1, the steps as follows. This is our base control. Just prime. Everything was primed. Everything got hull red. Nothing's being done. That's our control. Crackle is I used Crackle Medium, and then this orange paint. This column here is Martian Iron Earth on top of Crackle Medium. These two together. Next column here is the Iron Crust, which is more drastic with sand in it on top of that. And these last two are, well, let's pull the camera back. Sorry. There we go. Martian Iron Earth just on top of normal paint. One thing I've noticed about any of these is it needs to go on a paint or a sealed surface, especially this stuff. Createx actually makes a sealer, or is it Folk Art? Yeah, Ceramcoat, Delta Ceramic. All-purpose sealer, you put it on wood so you can actually do all your crafty paint, your tool painting. I actually learned a lot of tricks from tool painting. Okay. And now, we could take a little break and chit-chat as you guys watch these crackling effects and I get the rest of my stuff organized that needs to be done. Yeah, LT, this is all designed to be basing. You know, it just takes 10, 15, 20 minutes to actually finish crackling, and then you put it aside for a couple of hours. Yes, you're all watching paint job. But when you get an effect like this, this is the goal. This was actually, here's the secret, base coated it with the hull brown. I put the Crackle Medium on it. Oops, screwing up the experiment. I put the Crackle Medium on it. I used the Iron Crust on some of them, which is why it's so crusty and thick here and here. Agric Search wash, dry brushed it, believe it or not, with a flesh tone. And that's how I got my Martian bases. And these look like the ugliest coasters ever. You know, don't put your coffee on these things. And this little lip here, I will paint black, with black primer for all of them before the client even gets them. Sindri, you must be talking about LVO right now. Okay, Kirby, let's see what Kirby has posted. Yes, the Crackle Varnish pastes. I could not get those, but they look like they do the effects that are really cool with heavy cracking. Oh, and there's those round bevel bases with the recess in the center, so you can actually fill it in there, make sure it's nice and thick, and then let it crack. Paste is better. You could probably get this stuff. I wonder what size it is, because it's $12 euro. Hmm. Oh, it looks like a kit. Crackle finish and primers. Ooh. Okay, that explains why it's 12 euros. Yeah, I've already heard the Eldar games are up. The Tal games are up. The Taldar games are up. Can't believe they're letting people mix factions like that. That's why I don't tournament game, especially in the ITC format. I want composition and awards for fluffiness and for playing it the hard way. Look at this beast. It's going crazy. Thin. No, I mean medium. It's going crazy. The thin stuff is, well, it's thin. Very parallel lines. And you can see the glossiness of the medium behind it. Oh, Nightbot just made a nice reminder of us. Don't worry, I will use all of these bases. Nightbot, up far corner up there is the giveaway total. The total is just keeping track of what's being donated, and as soon as it hits $300, it's going to unlock the giveaway for the knights. A knight commission. It could be Imperial Knight. It could be a Renegade Knight. Custom basing, painted to the customers, to the winner's satisfaction. So if you like Renegades, we'll make it Renegade. If you like Imperials, we'll make it Imperial. I've got a lot of decals, but I don't have the Renegade decals. So if those could be obtained for the winner who wanted that, we're okay. But I've got plenty of the good normal Imperial decals. What do we got? Basics. Musefi's got a link. Let's see if the link actually works. Yeah. If you want to talk cost effectiveness, the GW stuff is awful. Oh, Musefi, you're still working on the quartered Marines. Oh, I like your bases. Look at that. I wish I had some of the scenic flock to go with it. That looks really cool. When you put them together, I'd have to do the flocking the hard way. I can't see it, nor can I reach it. But I have the scenic grass and the long, bamboo shoots. They're about this long, and you just trim them down to what you need, or stick them on there with hot glue and then cut it. The people who are making the little tufts are doing wonderful. They're just using long hairs. Yeah, so Kirby, what you just showed, especially for people in Europe, is a very economical way of doing Crackle Earth bases. Now, the rest of these guys are going to take a while. But here's one of the things why I did the combo of on top of the Crackle Medium, because this is GW's Crackle Mediums by themselves. They're not doing anything. Oh, look at that handshake from the lack of coffee. I mean, these things are just not going anywhere. No, I'm not going to apply heat to them. I've heard mixed bags. I don't have a heat gun. I just have like a little tiny travel hair dryer. These things naturally crack. They're made to just work in air, so I'm not going to try to speed it up with any kind of heat. But what we're going to do, we're going to move this beast away. Dun, 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 dun. Put it off to the side. And we'll revisit them in a little bit when the thicker parts are actually drying out. Because here's like an ultimate goal. Because this is a basing stream. It's not just a Crackle stream, but it's basing stream. This is me going a little bit of nuts. It's the Onager model. Thank God it wasn't glued to the base. Actually, it was. That's right. I had to peel all the stuff off. This is pieces of cork. And when I say cork, I mean like old coaster fillings. Just tear it off. Put it down with a whole bunch of white glue. And there's some symmetrical pieces in here. Well, that's me chopping up a sprue with a whole bunch of plumbing dikes. Where's the little beast? There we go. Yeah, getting this out and a smear piece of sprue over an old coffee can and just cut. Guaranteed to build blisters. Guaranteed. Sprinkle it all on top of a whole bunch of white glue. There's also a little bit of gravel in here, which is actually scenic sand. I sprinkled that on top, and I let it set, and it's been setting for a little while now, like a couple of months, because this commission got pushed back. But now this could be made, glue this in pieces, and I'm just wondering if I should smooth out some of the pools and add Crackle Medium to it to unify it with the rest of the army. What do you guys think? A slap chop? What is a slap chop? What I actually want to get is a meat grinder. I'd love to get a meat grinder. An old used one, and just send the sprues through them and make gravel of different consistencies all day long. I think it was back in 2006, 2007, or 8. Cities of Death came out as a game, or an expansion for Warhammer 40k, and they were talking about, hey, here's all the buildings, here's just the super buildings. Those buildings, they're up there on top of the shelf, or the ones up there on that top shelf. And it was City Fight, the reemergence of City Fight. And one of the things they did in White Dwarf was just take a whole bunch of sprues and send it through meat grinders. Oh, I slapped. It's Fitz with Slap Chop. all day because you're going to be slapping your troubles away with. I don't think that thing's going to go through the plastic sprues, man. But very funny, Sindri. You smartass. Yeah, Kirby, it would be you use it as a meat grinder or you make it for destroying sprues, which is why I was looking for one that was used. No. Okay. Now, another thing that I did have planned for today's stream was I got these guys to finish out. I got more of them. These were the experiment. These were the first 3 of 6. And these are just the breachers. Then I got 9 destroyers to work on. I also have a very wonderful Tau showcase commission coming. Coming to stream. It's already here, so I'll be doing the prep work and the practice stuff all this week. But doing a very difficult paint scheme, which is the white armor, dark joints, red accents. And I already did a test of it to make sure the client was trusting of how I was going to do it. See, we've got shades of gray here. Focus change. Now, hopefully you could see where it's actually gray, and I save white for the very edge highlights. Let me change camera settings here. Yeah, the gain's up too high. And see, this little false horizon here is actually painted false horizon. And that's just shooting like that with the airbrush, where the far side actually blocks the spray of the gray that was underneath. And then I was coming back and had two tests here. That's full blast nun oil. That's a watered down nun oil. And we got to go this one. We got to go this bright. And we got to go this red for a whole bunch of models. Mr. Scorpion, which are freaking awesome? I kind of went on talking mode and missed what the context of your question. All right, let's add a little bit more light. Yeah, I used the little blisters that GW gives you as little carrying trays. Da-da-da. Now these guys, all they are base coated. I didn't do the washes yet. Oh, putting out the torsion things, but these guys will be the arc rifles with the... Oh, they already got their claws. Haha. Yeah, arc claws and arc rifles. We can actually do a little bit of a blue tack test. Yeah, but these things need to get washes and highlights, and they haven't been washed or highlighted at all. That's just base coating. Well, a lot of airbrush base coating, especially this front panel here. Like, oops, I forgot to put the tan on them. Oh no. In the bowl? Yeah, you mean these are the AdMech breachers. And I got 5 of them. I mean, 3 of them. And they're 3 bases. And I do not know if I will be gluing them before shipment. Probably be gluing the whole thing together and then bubble wrapping them like crazy, and they'll look like huge Hershey kisses. Yeah, the Cadillac Destroyers, otherwise known as, I'm too lazy to learn how to pronounce it right, Cadaphon Destroyers. What, guys, you think I should send this to the client here without, without the full washes on them? You crazy? I was thinking on doing a wash on stage while we're waiting for the crackle to dry and show off the difference. Ooh, shoulder pads. I got to add gold to these shoulder pads. That was the secondary task I had for this stream, which was to do the enhancements on these things and show off how washes can be fun, 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 fun. Till Daddy takes the Cadillac Destroyer away. Ba-dum-bum. These are neat because, this is just held together by tension. It's not even glued. You could magnetize them, I guess. Dropping a magnet in there and one back here drilled in. You're going to have to drill in right into that peg. There we go. Aha. I love my blue tack. I wasn't committed to these. So take the plate off. Probably need to file that paint off so I can actually have plastic to glue to plastic contact. What'd Kirby say? You ship it with a Cadillac logo. I don't know how to get a Cadillac logo out here without committing a minor piece of vandalism and petty theft. So, here we go, guys. Crackle Check. Doing awesome at the medium stage. The thick stage is starting to cure on the Crackle Earth. Medium iron crust is starting to split. Thin is crackling. These guys, that one's actually pretty much done. That one's pretty much done with its crackling. Here's the thick stuff. It's still crackling. So the thicker you go, the broader the cuts are going to be when it actually splits, just like real mud. And these things are actually completely wastoid. So if you're having a problem with your iron earth and your iron crust and they're not crackling, well, it either needs to go over some kind of gloss coat or you need to get the Crackle Medium and make sure it crackles. But as you can see on the first column, just a Crackle Medium, thick coat of Crackle Medium. It took 1 to 2 hours to dry up where it was no longer tacky to the touch. And then I just threw the crackle paint on it and it made sure it crackled. So, I'm just going to do a little table prep here. Because I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me prime these things and base coat them. You tell me what you want me to do. I'm going to watch you guys chat for a little bit. Or participate with the chat. Johnny 5 is half alive. Yeah, they do kind of look like Johnny 5s. I could write that on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Johnny 5. That would be funny, and how to... Well, I don't think I'd lose a commission with that one. But, yeah. I've done it with my old rhinos before. I'd write on the bottom. So if they were destroyed, I'd flip them over on the table, and people get to see the wonderful secret messages I put on the bottoms. Like, my sister's a battle tank. It was written on the bottom, stop looking at my skirt. Looking for brushes, guys. What's a good? Yeah, it's my 2. Drago, I have not heard anything about the big guys yet. I figure Kenny is too busy playing the actual games and hobnobbing with people he hasn't seen in years or in a year. And hanging out with Mike Haspel and sipping their fine adult beverages. So he hasn't sent me a message if I got anything yet, or we got anything yet or not. Would be nice. Would be nice. But if nobody buys them at LVO, then they're going to attempt to get sold at Adepticon unless one of the viewers decides to give an offer first to Kenny. But if you don't want to wait for that, you can get your own custom one. When the giveaway unlocks, it'll just be a stream that everybody piles in. We'll do it like the last 15 minutes. We'll have a raffle. So people who actually show the stream, which will be advertised as such, that will be the giveaway day. Whenever it happens. I have no idea when that's going to be. It's kind of up to you and your gratuities. Oh, I know how you feel, Drago. Maybe you can win the commission. Maybe. Maybe if you're here on the drawing day, you could get goodies. Okay, I'm just taking a mental break. Hey, in case you guys want to know how big these bots are, these are the original Games Workshop 25mm bases. It's 1 inch. It's a quarter. So this will let you know how big the Cadillac Destroyers get. Oh, I don't have a quarter. There's a nickel. Here's a dime. Here's a penny. Yeah, that Night Lord night was crazy. The one that Kenny put on his stream. I mean, on his Facebook. That was crazy. Oh, did you guys see my little tip jar? I finally got one. So if you do a follow, it'll actually drop my little iron-headed logo in here. Maybe I should put a new graphic in there so y'all can drop iron-headed when people follow. And also it triggers on donations. Yeah, Shooty, if you go to the Long War Network link, I think there's a trigger for that. Kenny's stream should actually, or one of his uploads will show you this crazy night. Guy went crazy for his Night Lord. Renegade Knight. And the rest of the army look awesome too. Lots of raptors. Oh, I know. I turned off Facecam. Okay, turning Facecam back on. Hey, it's a face. No, I just tend to turn the Facecam off if I'm lighting a cigarette. That way you guys don't have to see me puffing away. For those who might, freak out. This gives me a chance, scratch my head, blow my nose, all that stuff. I'm still getting used to being on camera, guys. I hope you can understand. Cut me some slack, please. Oh, I also know there's some other stuff that needs to get done today. And I mean, when I mean today, I mean streaming today. You guys might have saw on my Facebook, I posted those Sisters of Silence, and I used the wrong size bases. So there's another little lesson and follow along kind of moment, because I have to get them done. So I'll put that away. And I'm just going to put my little cataphrons aside. Yeah, weird tech issues happen. Hey, I'm surprised I'm having a good stream so far. My communication on the Twitch server is going very, very well. Yeah, Drago. I made a whole bunch of 25 millimeters. For the Imperial sector. And I based them all out. And I did the pictures, and then my client went, weren't they supposed to be on 32s? No, he's right. Sisters of Silence come on 32 millimeter bases, even though they are humans. So I put mine on 25, and then I kind of forgot. Let me go show you. I'll get the model. Sorry. See, that's a 25 mil base, just like the old Sisters of Battle. What did I reach over there for? No reason. For no damn reason. So I put them on mine. I have 5 of them. I put them on the 25 mils instead of the 32s. Because I think they just look a little silly on the larger bases. Ta-da! But there's a... Uh-oh. Where did I put the client's stuff? Ah, there it is. Out of arm's reach. There we go. Grab one. But they're not as big as a Space Marine. They're about as tall as one, but... You know, I never actually looked at these side by side. Clients, mine. I like pale golds. He liked the old bronze ancient gold. Except for the Sister Superior, who got really bright silvery gold armors. Like that. And better eyeballs. But that's what I did for the client. Now I just have to do it on the right basis, and a whole bunch of stuff gets mailed. To include his big destroyers and his Inquisitional Warband. Well, the bases I'm using, Drago, are the Sector Imperialis base. Which, yeah, their detail isn't that bold, but it doesn't have to be bold. It just has to be there. So, you know, the deck plates, love the diamond plate they use. Some of it's whatever material that's not metal, and I use my Crick's Bane and Crick's Highlight. I need to update my sisters. Painted without washes. These actually aren't even done. These aren't the ones I was playing. Look, goblin green base edges. All right, put her aside. Oh, I forgot. I put magnets on the base. Maybe you guys saw Kenny's Table War video? Well, I put magnets in the recesses, and I can put them in a Table War tray. And oh, it is good for transporting them. Makes great transport. And great display cases, too. What's heresy, Drago? What did I do that was heretical? How dare you? Making accusations. Oh, no. Okay. I am going to put the painted breachers back in the box. Because I'm going to prime these bases, and I'm going to start with the metallic. And the gray-greens will be brushed on. Sorry, this got to be done. But I can show you what I do for metallics and airbrushings. I want to keep my black surface semi-clear. Oh, paint without wash. Yeah, I just hadn't washed those yet. I was going to do the first 3 base coated and then do the next 3 and wash them all at the same time. But then the opportunity of the stream came up. Okay. Vallejo Steel. And this is the only time I use the airbrush thinner to knock down the binder inside of the metallics, because I can't get them to flow out of the airbrush without it. Might be the age of my airbrush. Doing a wash with a lighter color is actually layering a transparent, and thus far it darkens it, but it might increase its saturation. Yes, the same color, because you're doubling up on your color is going to make it appear darker or richer. It will be more rich. If you want to go really crazy, just get the dark inks out and outline everything. Kirby, that also depends on what color is beneath the color we're talking about here. Okay, here we go. This is my thinned airbrush silver. It is a speckler like most metallic paints. It's just gonna fleck and speckle. It's what we don't see in airbrushing on camera, because these are actual particles. So what I'm just gonna do is get these bases started. I know where the metal is. Anything diamond plate goes. If it's not diamond plate, it's not getting paint. Neatness is sort of a factor on these. Not on this guy. Except for this pod here, and this tab is actually diamond plate, and there's just a crossbeam. Oh, I'm in my own way. But that's heresy. Okay. There are 2 bases per sprue that I've already chopped out. All it is ground. But I want all these to be on actual metallic terrain and match. These I tried dry brushing and they didn't work out too well. Ooh, this one is mostly, I'm going to just call it ground as a shortcut. Just going to airbrush the trim. I'm showing you it's kind of hard to get metallics through an airbrush neat and tidy. Especially, even the Vallejos, but if it's anybody else, oh boy, you're going to get particles, you're going to get speckles. Because I have 2 sprues, I'm going to go ahead and oversaturate, over-thin my metallic paint. Uh-oh, Nightbot's talking to himself. Oh, one more. Mystic Scorpion, you still out there? You guys still doing your TTSSs? Way less speckling if you over-thin your metallics. And it doesn't stick on the needle either. Here you go, if you want to know how to do bases really fast. Once you're familiar with the bases, I actually got some of the secret weapon ones in, part of the client's Tau commission. And just got to pick out the best colors for it. If you guys want to chime in on them, they're the Tau Ceti secret weapon bases. Models would be predominantly white, so what would be good for painting on them? Because I don't want to put like a green-gray. It's too light. The model will kind of vanish. Okay. Well, I still got paint in the cup. But everybody knows how hard it is to pour paint back into an eyedropper bottle. A little bit more. But I'm satisfied, so I'm going to get my P3 cold steel and just dump it in. Mystic, I actually used, the only time I use Vallejo's airbrush thinner. It's the only time I had some. But you could almost thin it out with your airbrush cleaner. You really, really want to over thin this stuff. So now I'm going to rinse out my airbrush and scoop it out and making sure all the metallic flake is out. So, oh no, Facecam's off. The hobo sink. Yeah, I really don't find the thinner useful. It tends to destroy the binders inside of the paints. But if you got some really thick stuff, like a craft paint, yeah, go ahead and add the thinner in. But I've noticed Vallejo's binders inside of their metallic paints is kind of dense. Flow's great, but I get it to stick at the needle. That wasn't me? No. Kind of. No, there was no beard on that picture. Sillies. Silly Draco. Alright, give my airbrush a little rinse here. Because even if you clean it, see if you can see it. You can see the little metallic flecks coming up to the surface. And that's a no-good if I wanted to change colors. But if you want to pearlize a paint really quick, that's how you do it. Okay, Kirby, go ahead and ask which fluids they are. And several of us could tell you how to do it with minimum purchase to get going. People who keep doing this over and over again, we acquire new tools and to try them out. Ha ha! As soon as this silver cures a little bit longer, I'm going to hit it with this stuff. Because it's what I did for every other base I did, every single Death Watch. Okay, thinner and flow improver. You can do fine with flow improver. You can leave the thinner on the shelf. Because thinner is actually damaging. Thinner is more akin to airbrush cleaner than it is to the flow improvers. The flow improvers still have a little bit of paint medium in it. Oh, well, here's an example. Here's all my Lamium medium, which is paint of no pigment. Flow improver is very much like this, but it has a drying retardant in it. It has some more fluid to thin it out. So the goal is to keep all your colors together and keep the saturation up and send it through the airbrush and it won't clog. I also use flow improver sometimes as a wet blending device or a thinning device on my wet palette. One puff. One puff. Where's my coffee? No! I must have the coffee. Would anybody else like to chime in for Kirby on that one? Geez, I should have my darn silly custom cup my brother made for me for my stream. All right, chip test. Oh, look. Finally, the no improved iron earth is actually starting to crack. But it had to be thick or medium. Thin is useless. It's flecky. These guys still need more time to cure. This is the iron earth. But look at this stuff on top of Crackle Medium. I mean, we've got fleck. We've got slabs of material. There's actually some depth to the flakes. How about that? Didn't get that with the paint alone. Whatever material is inside of these guys is actually helping this out. And I have tried mixing paint to Crackle Medium, and it actually spoils the crackling effect. But these are pretty good. The Iron Earth on top of Crackle Medium is doing the best, and thin, no good for the, but it's still got some tooth to it. Medium, nice, healthy cracks. And we're still waiting for this one to dry and cure. But these guys are lousy. So if you do invest into the Crackle Earth, you're either one, going to be waiting a long time. Two, you have to put it on extra, extra, extra thick to get an effect at all. And we don't know about these yet. Jury's still out. Iron crust, pure iron crust on top of paint. But look at this stuff. Medium, thick. I mean, we've got topography here. So if you want to do any kind of crackling effects, guys, I think we can conclude you need to buy a bottle of this. And either play with just some thick paints, or if you have these guys. Good enough? Oh, and then when you hit it with a wash, it's awful. These guys will need, even the ones that are so-called done, will need to solidify over a couple more hours. So it's like, leave it overnight. That way you can actually put paint on it. It won't fleck off. Unless you deliberately want to make a fleck gap. Like that. So now I've made an artificial hole. I'm going to leave that there. But that was still kind of soft and spongy. I'm going to leave it all overnight. I will use these later. I will probably still use these, but not for the AdMech, unless they start crackling something fierce overnight. So that finishes up that lesson on the Crackle Medium. Anybody had any question? Howdy! How do? Kirby, the Flow Improver has a little bit of drying retarder in it. A little bit, but this is retarder medium. This is or slow dry. This stuff is thick. Let me get a popsicle stack. It's thick and oily and goopy. Focus. Focus, damn it. Focus, Daniel Ton. But it's like a drop of thick oil. It will take a while to dry. It'll preserve the paint on your palette. You can wet blend with these things. I used to have another one for airbrushing, but I don't think they have it anymore. Catalyst, bundle and catalyst. I need to tie those things together. There we go. Pigment medium retarder. It's kind of a slow dry. This stuff is like super oily. It's greasy. It takes a while to dry. But it has more flow. You can see it going down the popsicle stick. I actually prefer this than the other gel stuff. Oh, oxide, put it back in the box. Hey, here's a nightmare pink for you guys. Tickle pink. I mean, this is like a heavy saturated pink. And if you don't like that, pink frosting. I was using craft paints when I was painting Emperor's Children's Noise Marines, which are in my Flickr gallery. Kirby, yes and no. You'll get some voids, but you're not going to get those super cracks that you might want to see for lava. So, yes and no. You could sit there and play with it maybe with the X-Acto knife and widen cracks that you want to be wider. Let's try that. How about that? Okay. Let's say we want this one to be a little bit wider. Let me check focus. Actually, let me pan in. Boink, 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 boink. Play with its focus. So let's see if we can manipulate the crack a little bit. Play a little snowplow. In case anybody's curious, this is a stencil cutting blade for X-Acto. Okay. We lose some of the randomness, but we've made a trench. And we'll see how that cures up later. Maybe it'll keep curing and pull away from itself. Hey Drac, how you doing? It's going okay. We were just playing with the Crackle Medium stuff. Oh, hang on. My brother is wondering if I'm broadcasting right now, and I don't think he has the link. It's going okay. It's going okay. I got some bases to do, which I'm going to do while you guys hang out with me, if it's okay. Please do. Please do. Kind of what we're here for is the hobby stuff. Now, one thing I like to do, I just used the black wash. It's real thick. I like how thick it is. It doesn't run away like GW's does. But I still add a little bit of water to my brush. Camera check. Sorry. Reset. But I like it because it's thick. Once you put it where it is, it stays there. It'll resist the gravity. Oh, got a piece of hair on there. I can put this on nice and light. And I can blob it in, and it's thicker. The reason I put the water on the brush, it's just so it doesn't stick to the brush. That's where it gets a little watery, because it was coming off the brush. I will show you again on camera. That's where I have water on the brush, so it's actually like a watercolor. Nice and thick. I don't mind it being thick. These things will get a light dry brushing of silver again. Kind of recover. Kind of what we were talking about earlier was just deepening the shadows to imply a contrast that we can't get with direct light. We can't shadow as well. These things just don't have the topology for that kind of work, for lighting effects. And it also makes it grimdark. It's gritty. It's dirty. There is no cleaning lighting in 40K. Cleaning woman, cleaning woman, cleaning woman. Anybody get that movie reference? The cleaning woman. I'll get you some Yo Dogs over in Candy Stream if anybody knows it. See, this is the difference I'm trying to imply. Shay, I'll put that over there. I like to let the Vallejo paints dry for at least an hour. It's just the nature of that beast. Kirby, I think that's what Crackle Medium kind of does, is self-expanding, and then the medium split. The molecules kind of line up and pick sides and split. Yeah, typhus corrosion, great stuff. That stuff is weird. It kind of dries in a special effect. It's really cool. I do recommend it for tracked vehicles, for dirt, for the grime. I just wish it came in colors other than that color. You also have to be really careful what brush you're using too. I'll show you my typhus corrosion brush. This was a nice needle tip round. And then I hit it with the typhus corrosion. It's been recovered many, many other times, but it will go once it hits the about 50% way up into the ferrule. It will spread out your bristles. So typhus corrosion has this expansion to it, don't you think? Yeah, typhus corrosion, get the crap brushes out. The flatter, the better. Just go ahead and get some flat brushes for your typhus corrosion work. It's a nightmare. Eh. I think somebody's in here as a guest that I happen to know. Let me check the room, people. Is there a Bippy in here? No, but Bilbo Swaggins is here, being very quiet. How you doing, Bilbo? Got to check my camera, guys. My alignment's not how it's supposed to be. Doink. Here we go. How you doing, Twinner? How'd the game go? Imperials win again? You're going to have to play a battle without Celestine, man. Play without your queen. In case you all don't know, Twinner's got his own stream, The Basement Collective. Their stream name is Twinner103. But they are the Basement Collective from Canada. Two guys. Crazy amounts of hobby. Yeah, sorry I missed your bat whip. I had to catch up on some miniature work, commission work. Then I had to prep for my own stream. Twinner, she's situational. From all the times I've played St. Celestine, I haven't gotten to play with her 6th edition rules. Send her after light squads and watch her delete them. Challenge out sergeants, challenge out anybody who's armor 3 or worse. You don't want to send her up against Terminators, but she will win challenges for you. And don't forget she's got her own heavy flamer. She's got the flamethrower. But she's a lot of fun. She's also a point distractor. She killed it all by herself, or she finished it off? Because I jumped in just before that where you were talking to your opponent about sending Celestine after the night. He's like, well, it's got Harbor Man. It might come in. It might get her. So what's the story? Hang on a second. Yeah, yeah, Celestine is a lot of fun. I have the old Celestine when she came out 2004 or 5. Stand by. I never really did finish the model, but let me go get it. I actually have 2 of them. 2 of the pewter ones, and I do have the plastic one still in subassembly. But when she first came out, it was like 4th edition 40k, meaning you could only use her if it was a 2,000 point battle. Characters were like that. Now it's characters everywhere. Pick all the best stuff. Play an apocalypse kind of styled game in 1850. When you're seeing stuff that you don't normally see until the 4,000 point battle, and it's 1850. The salad bar approach. Yeah, Draco, that's the original St. Celestine model. I think she became a resin for a while. My 2 are pewter. Behind me is this box with Cole. What a fat ass. My Celestine bits, they're in the box here, including the sister, the Gemini. I love the idea of having the 2-girl bodyguard who have the stats of Canoness. So she's got basically 2 HQ choices as her bodyguards. Oh, forgot to move this out of the way. So guys, if I was thinking on doing the Crackle Medium on this, I would probably have to add a sealer just to make sure all this cork is really sealed, even though it's got paint on it. And that, oh, it's Xenograg. I see the Xenograg. Hello, welcome to the room. This is my in real life brother, Xenograg, the older brother. Like my biggest first patron. Yeah, Drac, yours is pewter wings. Well, actually, she didn't have wings. She had the cape with the two cherubs. Good wings for the bodyguard. Try classic swooping hawks or blood angel jump packs for their sanguinary guard with the wing parts. But the bodyguards actually have more stylized seraphim jump packs. That's all. So I gotta seal this, and then if I put Crackle Medium on spots, then I can put these, and I can have this whole base crackling. Xenodrag still there? He's still watching? Ha ha ha. Show my brother the Autobots. Oh, I just remembered something. These bases and the different box, the shattered domains, they actually come with little skulls. And I'm thinking I could put skulls around this base, and it would look like the original Terminator movie with the flashback segments. So he's rolling by and crushing skulls. Oh, I was going to take these out because I was actually going to put some paint on these guys. Oh, you guys have been here for an hour and a half? Me too? Crooked ladder! Ah! Glad you're here, Zero Greg. Whee! Yeah, where's JP Gray? Oh, somebody go find JP Gray and bring him in here. Because I've got his robots. We know he loves robots. Well, let's do a little test. Did you guys mention that you thought these guys looked cool without washes? What if I put some Nun oil on the track on one of them and then just leave the other one alone? Uh, Clearly, I'm not watching the LVO streams right now, Cricket. Sorry. Kind of just being here. Doing my thing. Sharing my ideas and my little tech so you guys don't have to waste your time experimenting. Because we all know how expensive this hobby can get. Even as a commission painter, sometimes it's a little bit of a zero sum. I don't always go after my clients going, hey, pay for your supplies. No, that's cruel. I already have the stuff, so if it's really crazy, maybe. Like Forge World paints. It's like, dude, you got a contact? You get a shipment of them? Okay. Do a little side-by-side test there. I got a shtick! Hey, hit you with my shtick. See that stick over there by the barn? That's a comedy club. Yeah, my clients don't know that. All right, you've been in New York too long. Don't do that. Ah. Yeah, I could write them off as business expenses. It just kind of, it really needs to be lumped together to actually start being significant. You know, like, oh, $4 paint, $4 paint, $4 paint. How many you got to add together before you start getting a break? I am not responsible for the. Yeah, I know that one there, Xander Greg. I learned a new phrase for people who constantly ask for advice, never take it, and fail. They're called assholes. This is so weird. I'm painting with less light than I normally use. It strains the eyes, but it actually helps me build proper contrasts. All right, gonna corrode this metal out a little bit. Oh, not with that brush. Aha! The little razor knives out of a paintbrush. Yes, I got my Noon oil in my paint palette in case it tips. Well, it's not gonna tip. It takes a light touch. Yeah, that's the first time Xanderdrag's probably witnessed me painting anything. Unless it was a house. But a little bit of lining action here around the gold. And puddling it on the bolts. But see, I didn't wash these. I just used a darker shade of silver, and it's already kind of the same as the tracks. Let me read what Howdy has written. Hey, do you know where I can go for a roll maker and texture pins instead of green stuff? As far as I know, Green Stuff World's the only people who sell those. Oh, I hadn't heard about them until I heard of Green Stuff World. If you know anybody crafty who could probably attach them to a small roller. Did you try eBay? Did you try Secret Weapon Miniatures website or dicehead.com? Yeah, we need a better distributor. Oh, Twinner! There is a company in Canada that does a lot of game distributing. I don't remember what their name is. Do you happen to remember it? Oh, Xander Greg, I might in the closet. I might have one of the miniatures from the Battle System game. I'm not bringing it out because I'd have to dig for it, but I'm pretty sure my clients would like to see a miniature painted beyond 15 years. You know, the 1985 release of Battle System. $30? Ouch! You can almost make your own. Well, you can also make a stamp instead of a roller. Where it's like maybe a block like this and the details you want. It's a reverse casting stamp, 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 stamp. Oh, forgot my baby wipes. What drunk people there, Gabriel? Echo! Oh, I don't have Bob Ross music. I have other music, but this is kind of Bob Ross music. Yes. Xander Greg, one of my fellow streamers, has nicknamed me Professor Graybeard, which is why it's in the title. Yeah, Hannah. Well, that's the craft paint, the light red oxide. So what do you guys think? With the Gnome oil? Without. I still have to come back and do some dry brush highlights on the tracks. Or typhus corrosion. Or pack some Mars in here into the tracks. Base Trade TV. I can't believe drinking games are on Twitch. That won't last. Yeah. If you guys can see it on the stream and it needs the nun oil, then it actually has to need it. The cameras are really good at showing contrast. I mean, it looks okay as is, but it's not enough. It has to have more love. And then putting highlights next to it is really going to show it up. And let me get some of the appropriate paint. Nope, not Mephiston Red. The Evil Sun Scarlet. Move that palette out of the way. Oh, I forgot. My Evil Sun Scarlet has been so well used, it's not a shaking paint, it's a stirring paint. Hence why I have so many coffee stirrers. Trash. Save the stick. Alright, where's my little $20 paintbrush? Move this out of the way. It's in my way. Okay. Lining this stuff in here. I really need to put the chat window in someplace better in the window of my computer, so I can see what you guys are saying. Remember, everybody, if you really want me to see what the text you're saying to me, put the @ symbol and then iron-headed. It will actually highlight the text on my screen, and I can see it at a glance. Mystical Scorpion knows how to do it. Because I'm using that little Better Twitch TV app. Okay, getting the high spots here, and then I'll get the bottom of the track for anything bounce light. But believe it or not, these models are meant to be tabletop quality only. And I, one, overpaint a lot because I like the models. And two, I like the client. He is my main man. He's the guy who's kept me floating with commissions for the last year and a half. Three, he's an Imperial player. Haha. Okay, can you guys see this? Gabriel, my tabletop quality is good clean base coats, washes, and then the only highlights that are really done are error fixing, where I bring back the base coat where the wash may have tinted it too darkly. And then if it's metal, I give it a little dry brush highlights. But that's more about making it a clean work. And then above tabletop 12, I only have the 4 brackets. And I don't even do tier 1 anymore, which is base coats only. I always do washes. So tier 3 is, or what I call tier 2 plus, is I start adding highlights. Making things pop. With paint. Kind of like, I don't, Thomas Kincaid painting. There we go. I'm just doing this one edge to do contrast. See? Yeah, Gabriel, I also include some dry brush highlighting in there with my tabletop quality. Ah, I'm being followed. No. Hey, Xenoguy, you remember that figure, that 3D figure? That was 2005. Yes, large, low quality orders, and you're sitting there and you're like painting your life away on so many miniatures. But let me pull up an example here. If Mystic Scorpion's in here, it's time for a little TTSS. Okay, we're going to edge highlight this, the classic edge highlighting stuff. Let me see if I need to push in a bit more. There we go. This didn't get a wash. I just shot the airbrush on an angle and I put the red Bose coat down and it left the black gutter. So I don't have to add a wash to that that's just going to turn this corn red even darker. But I am skipping a color on the scale of highlighting. Oh, goofed that a little bit. Okay. Put that guy down. And where is one of my fave dry brushes? These old recycled stencil brushes. Look at this one there, Mystic. It's a stiff, kind of like oxide bristles, but I've had it for so many years I beat the crap out of it. So let me get a piece of paper towel. Mystic, I hope you saw the... Here we go. That's edge highlighted. We're just talking about this belly plate right here. My wet palette is where I'm getting my paint from. Oh, that was a different lesson. How to build a wet palette. Okay, one task at a time. One sick person at a time. Not as much scrubbing action because I don't want to overshoot on these overlapping plates. Tickle, tickle, tickle. See? Paint's barely coming off my brush. Well, it's barely appearing on my thumb. That's just colors on top of flesh tones. But tickle, tickle, tickle. Yeah. Yeah, they already missed an obscure movie quote earlier. Heck, I forgot which one it was. But I didn't see it at Ironheaded, so I didn't respond to it. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Which one's edge highlighted? Which one's tickled? And does it really matter? What do you think, Mystic? Oh, it doesn't even have to be a stippling brush, though. Evan Warped, thank you for the follow. Come on in. Oh, where is it? There is it. I got lots of little brushes I call dry brushings, a little super soft, fluffy thing, but it's a stip. Yeah, can you tell the difference? This is the line one, where I actually kind of gave it 2 coats. And here is the my little damp brush trick. It's softer. I would have to build it up again, but I tell you what, this was faster. And for me, it was more fun. That's one of the things my clients in El Paso like is my softer shadows. It's really better suited for like the Flames of War game, which I actually have some tanks to paint up soon. But I'm not even touching the model very hard. I'm also highlighting spots that don't even get seen. Way to go! But Iron-Headed, you're wasting your time. No, I'm not. I'm having fun. Do have to build up the little stippling dry brush technique here. That's too much. But I actually have a little bit better load on my brush. Let me show you what it looks like on a flat surface, Mystic. Oh, sorry. Be right back. Okay. You're going to miss this. But I can actually go back and forth or scrub in small circles and highlight. Nice lamp. Thank you for follow and for blocking the view. But I can actually get the tops of curved surfaces and highlight the top of a domed surface. So, but yeah, I can go back and edge. To kind of getting back to what scroll. Gabriel was saying, I could do highlights with my very soft dry brushing technique and get the work done fast, and it'll still look somewhat highlighted. Can you rephrase that one, Drake? I like dry brushing better, the edge, but it's a personal preference. I actually like doing this dry brushing. I like the softer edge that it leaves. But I also have to work, I have to know the different skills for different clients. It's also a matter of the tier level that they're paying for. This little dry brushing method is something I would use on above tabletop quality, my tier 1 plus, which is get the base coats on there, give me my washes, and then reestablish some highlights. But I'd rather paint tier 2 all day long, which is get the edge highlights out. Oh, I'm not doing that on there. Those were edged. I got to do it consistently. Now, let's show you little soft dry brushing for these tracks, because it's a narrow surface. You know, it's about 1.5 inches. I don't want to do massive dry brushing that's going to scatter metal all over this red. So I can get most of the paint off there. It's mostly off the brush. And And I can do dry brushing without dry brushing right here on the track. And I'm not casting it all over the place like most vigorous dry brushing methods go. What do you think of that, Drac? A technique for specific uses? Who wants to edge highlights tracks? So this is a monodirectional stroke. Very light. Brush is loaded a little bit higher than what they say for dry brushing. You're going to waste less paint this way. It doesn't end up on the paper towel. And it's a little bit more precise. It's not quite overpainting, which is a technique that's kind of gone out of fashion, but I save overpainting for organic forms. This I'm just kind of polishing. And it's not always the same stroke that I was teaching Mystic. I might go circular or straight back and forth. Depends on the surface. So you like that one? See if I can get down in the shadows. But there's a little bit more of the pop coming back this way. These high tracks here. And as far as I know, the client did not pay for weathering on these. So we've got some clean models. Weathering for these things is, oh, get the mud coming up the back here. No, I'm not painting the bottom of the tracks. Why do that? That's a waste of serious money. I would never do that. Hey, Xenogreg, feel free to throw out any dad isms you can think of. Because I'm trying to collect them. We've already covered the proper P's. I mean, the 7 P's, which I actually followed when I was doing this stream today because I had to do all the prep work for the Crackle work. F Dad. Oh, yes, you've been in New York too long. But there we go. Check focus. A precision dry brushing technique. Which is really useful for this guy's head. Because he's got the ridges, but, all right, you know. But it's these rounded surfaces I want to play with. We are a robot. We are a robot. Yeah, here's another example of higher tier level painting, you know, 2s and 3s. Different colors on the wires. I've only got basically 4 colors here: black, red, golds, silvers. But when you start adding other colors to it, you know, making liquid in the vials, it definitely pushes it up to another tier level. So I'm still needing to refine the tier levels too. But here we go. I can highlight these raised surfaces without getting everything around it. And because my paint is not dry, it's not flecky anymore on the bristles, I'm not casting it everywhere. It's not dusty. My red is untouched. So our little GoBot here Oh, Xander Greg, this is part of like Mechanicum Army. This is the. It's not the Skatari faction, but is akin to it. They'll go along with them. Oh, I'm sorry. These are Skatari. No, no, they're not. But these are Cult Mechanicus. That's it. But they'll hang out with the Skatari from we've read in the books. But see, okay, this technique is really awesome with metallic paints too. Yeah, let me for Xenogreg's Education. We never got to play this game together, but he's been following along with the lore. And let's do this. And then there'll be a large gun coming off of this arm mount here. And these guys are tough. They're tough. But that's another little demo. So I'll have to take the known oil back to all these metal tracks. Need to do some more of this red to the other side. Now, this is for Drac. Here's something valid right here. This edge right here is not really ready for a light dry brushing. It almost needs an edging because I can't get it without hitting the track. So I needed either done this before I did the black, but it's too light and too smeary. So this is an edge highlight zone. How big a gun? This is a gun. Stand by. Oh, here he is. It could be like this, or like this. And these are the close-up ones. Then they have ones that have like big grav guns on them. Where is that grav cannon? Needs a different shoulder mount option, but this one. But it's big compared to another guy. Like that. I think we're screwed, boss. Red 7-3. I think I lost track. Oh no. No, no. I think we need to take a break and say hello to you folks. Oh, 62 viewers. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. I was streaming for 2 hours. I could go another hour. But let's go check our Crackle paint for those who are still paying attention. It's a slow day. Everybody's watching LVO. Now look at this stuff, guys. The Crackle Iron Earth. Not Iron Earth. Yeah, the Martian Iron Earth is winning for its sheer crackles. Yeah, it's wolf. Hello, wallflowers. For its crunchiness. And the iron crust is starting to catch along. Forcing that cut in there didn't improve it at all. Even thin iron crust will work. And that's just going to develop even better and better. Yeah, Echo, you missed the beginning of the stream. We were playing with the crackling GW bases, or paints, and do a full-fledged experiment. This video will be saved and you can watch it. But we got the whole system out here, plain, just crackle paint with the paint on it. Then we started using the GWs on top of a crackle, and then not. And without the crackle medium, this stuff is taking forever, and it's not giving that cool effect. How many do? Yes, it is. But I'm having better results putting it on top of crackle medium that was already prepared. It's just going crazy. And that's how this red base was made. I just used the iron earth, and I didn't let it crackle as much. It's also not as thick, so it's more like that than this. Yeah, put it on some top of some wood putty. Actually, how does wood putty by itself work? Is that the way to go? But yeah, you can drop $7 on this bottle, and you can see how fast I'm going through it. It's halfway down, and I've only done some of these bases and those 6. So I'll burn through the product. I can extend my product by using the Crackle Medium. Go ahead, Sark. The new Inferno book. The last leak I saw was a few weeks. So we could see Space Wolves and Thousand Suns and Warhammer 30K. To include rules for Russ. Oh, Custodes rules I think are going to be in the same book. It'll be that Prospero Burns kind of release. So Space Wolves plus Thousand Suns plus Custodes. Oh yeah, I've used sheetrock mud before on bases too. How man do? It was kind of fun, you know. I've used flex paste for painters, for canvas painters. My favorite technique is Elmer's glue outside acrylic paint, you know, the stuff that's made to last outside, and baby powder. And then add sand, and it's a texture paint. Much more economical, you know. Here we go. Mountain snow. Yeah, gives a great effect. It's all putty and gritty. Well, you can do the same thing with sheetrock mud and throw sand in it and add a little bit of water. And you'll get a lot more bases done that way. Just my hair is like, whoa! Hang on a second. Wazowski, you didn't finish your paperwork. Oh, read what you guys wrote. Oh, sorry. I bet you they put the Custodes before they actually come up with rules for the Emperor, man. But man, this is crazy. This is cool. Now, the real question is, it was a side project. Could this be done for lava? If we put yellow-orange down first, and then this paint, and then would repaint this stuff in black, just on its highest spot. Probably with the little tickling method of dry brushing. I don't know. Man, this is going to be great. You're like, oh, man, the muffin's going to blow up. I tell you what, I like the iron crust for it's got this extra spiderweb crackling in it, compared to the iron earth. They both crackle, but I'm getting symmetrical cracks with the iron earth, and I'm getting splits with the crust. And I think it's because of the sand content inside of it. That's it. That's my final review. If you got the iron crust, you can resuscitate them by getting Crackle Medium and putting this down first. Bow. Yes, the mad the hi Absinthe. Yeah, let me get the mad scientist here. 1.21 gigawatts. Marty, I don't know how to get that kind of power. No, Tom. He was talking to the picture of Tom. Yeah, how man do they kind of dry up like that. I don't really think the Crackle Medium added to the GW paints is very significant. Um, I have tried mixing paint in with the Crackle Medium and applying it, and I lose the crackle effect completely. Okay, Zayden Greg, you know what? I can be a little bit of a clown. I do encourage. Yeah, see, I'll have to edge highlight that. I can't. Um, I can't put the dry brushing technique on here. The area is just too tight, and I've already put down other colors, so it'd be straight up edge highlighting. How you doing, Absinthe? Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Jeweler's visors. Well, get the green tablecloth and the visor with the clear visor and the armbands, and you could look like a Las Vegas dealer. I was teasing the El Paso game store because they were doing some recording, and all their tables were the green felt tables. And I'm like, this looks like Vegas. Just get the models out of the way and just throw the cards out. Okay, now that it's dried a little bit. Ah, itchy beard moment. Yes, Min. I'll tell you one thing. Edge highlighting lasts visually better over... Correction. Let's try this again. Edge highlighting lasts better over distances. So if you're starting to push the 3-foot roll, but if you need some historical precision, the dry brush works. And also the dry brush is just faster. It's good for low tier armies that need to look cool, but you need them done. I am north of El Paso, Drac. I'm about 45 minutes to an hour away, depending on the traffic of El Paso. But all the game stores I visit are in El Paso. To include, down below, at the bottom margin, Military Gamer Supply. Very cool people. They love veterans. Oh, good grief. Excuse me a moment. Min Min. Min Min. Min Min. Don't laugh. This is a 20-pound cat. When it wants attention, it tends to push my chair, and I'm like, whoa! Not in Texas. I'm in New Mexico, but I might as well be in Texas. Anything goes weird, I'm in Texas. Don't nag my cat. He came big. Yes, man. Okay, I know what the cat wants. I'm going to take a little break off camera, and I'll be right back. Yeah, 20 pounds. He's probably 22 now. He's big boned. Yeah, how'd you get that big fat bone in your butt? Okay, I'll be right back, folks. I'm going to go feed the cat. He stole my joke. How many times have I said that on Kenny's stream when he goes like, I'll be right back or something, and like, quick, everybody, hide, hide. No wonder Ironhead and Spiky Bits get along. So I don't even know Rob Bear that well. Ah, oh! Wash brush, wash brush. Oh, that's right. I used a higher control brush. Yeah, we just happen to have cats. Movie quote coming up. I find cats a far superior breed. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I thought about using the Vallejo washes on this stuff, but I actually do want it to flow more. Sorry, I'm on the inside of the track. You can't see me. It's really amusing. I was getting a commission to paint the Flames of War tanks. I'm like, I don't know if I can work that small on those treads. And then I grabbed the Mechanic and Destroyer models. And I'm like, well, there goes that excuse. I'm doing tracked vehicles. You just have a bigger guy sticking his head out of the. Oh, thanks, Absinthe. Xenogreg's got a cat because his wife made him get one. I love that old meme I've seen on the web. My wife wanted a cat. I didn't want a cat, so we got three. Do, 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 do. Forgot the other track. Sorry. Now, on the next three I'm making, these side track skirts are not going to be attached. I'm going to paint them separately and then glue them on. Gotta define these areas out here. Track engine. Ooh. Dirty up the brass. Gotta make the exhaust pipe look bad. There we go. This guy's weapon didn't get any love. Definitely gotta get the elbow joints. I would normally use gloss wash on these guys, but I want them to stay dirty. I don't want them to gloss up. The only reason I have a cat is a wife. Jack, that could sound worse. What if it was reversed? Pipes, pipes, pipes. Oh, already got that guy. Ow. Mm. Like that these guys almost have, looks like they have shirts. Oh, I got something to show. Well, I'll show everybody, but I'll show Xena and Greg for childhood flashback giggles. Countdown, 3, 4, 1. Oh, please don't. All right, you can have a cat if I can have a dog. Be right back a second. There we go, Xena and Greg. If they didn't walk and float, it would be Black Hole, the Disney movie. Oh, here's another example of the Crackle Bases, guys. I knew there was some more to it. Lots of crackling going on in there. And these were the straight up iron earth on top of the gloss medium. Hence the very blocky cracking effects. But it's Mars. And this guy got limited cracking because I didn't put the Crackle Medium down on his base. But he's a little robot. Beep, beep. Yeah, there's actually 4 of them. And 2 Dominus. Or I can't remember what those guys are called. Oh, I forgot. Don't. Not my army. Absent, if I get my butt in gear, I can actually ship those 4, a whole bunch of Inquisitor stuff, all the sisters stuff, and that'll be out Monday. And keep my client, because he's owed a new shipment. It's kind of a habit, paying as much as I can in a month, and then top of the month comes around, get all my bills paid, and then ship him stuff that I spent the whole month I was working on. But let me put these guys away. My little on deck circle. More on deck. Oh, here's another little paint review in case anybody's curious about the paints. GW Edge paints. I do like them. They are thick. They're thick, kind of like the folk art paints. They're very pasty. When you put them on an edge, it holds. So, and you can still thin them, and it's got a nice pigment content to them. So, if anybody's tried to use the dry paints, and I can't remember what the Kinder Flame was this color. This worked better for highlighting red than the dry paints and trying to get that dry pasty stuff on the model. So edge paints worth getting. And because they're so thick, you can thin them out and get your money's worth. Okay. Classic GW dry brush. I like them. They're good. They work. They do the task they were designed to do. Stormhost Silver when I don't want to waste my air paint on a dry brushing. Stir, 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 stir. The more I stir and the less I shake, the less air I'm putting in my paints, and I'm making them last longer. Doot, doot. Doot, 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 doot. And basically, I just have to put enough on there that I'm killed the dust. We're knocked down the pooling effect that was left. And this is still monodirectional. Maybe a circle to scrub it in. Oop, don't need to. Optical illusion. Hey, Echo. Thank you very much, man. I've been doing this off and on for 20, 30 years. Xander Greg, help me out. So off and on. I've done some painting competitions. I've done this. And I've wasted a lot of money. I don't want you guys wasting money, so I'm passing along what I've learned. And sure, Terminate Game is cool for people. I enjoyed it when I was doing it in the early 20s or 2000s. But I tell you what, you will spend 99% of your time painting, army listing, more painting, buying, assembling, and you only pay for like 1-2 hours a week. So I like the hobby. I like the hobby. $19.85 for battle system, Xander Greg. It came out just after the original Warhammer Fantasy Battles, trying to get some of the early wargaming action, but their system was just not ready for it. TSR didn't sustain it. Games Workshop rose even higher. And they didn't have the miniature support that Games Workshop was willing to invest in the game. They just used counters. It's kind of cool. Never did have a battle. Hey, I still have GW paints, and I prefer Vallejos and Secret Weapons, but I still have them. There are still tasks that are just perfect for GW. Absinthe, you're a commission painter, right? I gotta wait for the lag so she can answer. Yeah, I kind of caught your softball and I amplified it there, Xander Greg. So 30 years. Yeah, there's no good reason to throw out the GW paints. Especially doing commissions, you don't know when a client who's completely locked into GW paint use, you gotta use what they like. Granted, for painting Blood Angels, I really can't come up with a good system outside the Mephiston Red Evil Sun Scarlet system for Games Workshop. I've actually seen Blood Angels painted their base coat was Evil Sun Scarlet. They looked awesome. I wanted to change my method. Conista, thank you for the follow. Or Consta. Hey, Dirty Burger! Thank you for the raid. Thanks for the host. Come on in, everybody. Oh, everybody's kind of missing out on the fun. Wow, he's bringing a lot of friends. Oh man, I'm gonna have to rephrase the whole Crackle Earth lesson plan. Unless you want to see me guys dry brushing these bases. So, welcome to all of Dirty Burger's followers and fans. Come on in. This is the old Iron-Headed stream, nicknamed the Professor Graybeard stream. I'm a full-time commission painter myself. I tend to work a lot every day. Most people probably know me as Kenny Boucher's mod. But I've been doing this stuff too. There's Rainer. Welcome back, man. Oh, I forgot to say, guys, the work in public, the slow fuse gallery is usable. I haven't checked it, although I do have rights to pull them up. Just haven't put them up there. Okay, just the hosting, Dirty Bird, right. I just like that raid graphic I put up there. I got into Dawn of War big time when it came out, to the point I was making mods too. And I just love Blur Studios a lot for their 3D cinematics. So when they made one for Dawn of War, I had to have it! There we go. All right, that's all the silver prep done. I like the Stormhost silvers. There's 3 paints that came out with the Games Workshop when they did their gem paints, and these were supposed to be paints to base coat underneath the gemstone paint. Well, I tell you what, there is a very dense metallic flake content to these. So I kind of use Skull Crusher Brass a lot for my golds. Here's my coppers, here's my silvers. Add a wash, and you can make them really good. When I don't want to use my airbrush paints. Those are very nice paints. They are worth it. Man Festival, yeah, don't let anybody twist your arm if you feel that way. Yeah, the background is pretty intense for the game. It has always been that. I've always considered a product of the 1970s and 80s. So, and the literary basis of the books for the game system was generated by people who were into the science fiction and fantasy of the day. So people say, "Oh, there's Dune references in it." Well, of course there's Dune references in there. People writing the game were Dune fans. So they did their homage to it, and they came up with a game system, and it was fun, and it was compelling. And it worked when it first came out as the game systems. I mean, Slaanesh was all about the 70s and 80s, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Coffee. Pray to Caffeinea. Pray to Caffeinea. No, Xander Greg, I'm not doing the Caffeinea Dune mantra thing. I always screw it up. Hey, I'm an Imperial player. There's some stuff I really don't like about the 30K, well, the 40K universe. Like, that's a little bit too far gone, even for me. John Bingham's here. It's all about the 80s and the emotes. What's the middle one, John? I recognize the bomb snail. I recognize Kenny's ice. Olay? Hey, who's got the chair flipping, the table flipping emote? Hey, I'm gonna do an Imperial Knight Necron conversion soon. Got any? Wow. What kits do you have that you're gonna draw off of? Yeah, there you go, guys. Throw up your subscription links. I still think it's a waffle. It's a flying waffle, the Kirby. Who's got what emotes? Show off your subscriptions. I just gotta follow. The Crimson Host has followed. Thank you very much. The Olay is the spike. Okay, I have no idea how he generated that one. You would think that Rob Bear would have more cat emotes. Up, Cho emotes. Hey, Craden. Do you have any of the? What's the elite choice? But it comes with the death marks. Do you have all those extra weapons? Cause I just had an idea. Let me just grab some Imperial Knight bits real quick. Shoulder plate, shoulder plate. What if you took some of those leftover, I'm never going to use these darn weapon things, and line them up like an array? Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, all the immortal bits. What if you arrayed it right across this top trim line? So it would look like this big sparky array. And then you could get some piano wire and bounce it between the two. Dun, 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 and paint them neon green. How about that? I mean, use all those spare bits that you have that you never get to use. I can almost see a whole bunch of warriors like around the feet holding the ankles up. What movie would that be akin to? Maybe The Matrix. But all the little smaller bots making a bigger bot. Manifesto, I have no idea where those quotes have been coming from. Somebody tell me, but I've been saying, how about that for years. But I gotta tell you, those memes are getting annoying sometimes. Warriors are gonna be grafted to the torso and arms. Cool. You can almost leave the plates off, right? And make new plating. You just need the knight skeleton, huh? Oop, sorry. Burped right in the microphone. I'm sorry, everybody. Here's a knight body. You can almost graft them and just leave the plates off. Oh, who wanted to know about how to magnetize knights? Oh, it was Mystic Scorpion. Yeah. Professor Graybeard knows how. Spiky Bits had his own video on that one. He really did. He got me started, and then I just, because my source of magnets were different from him, I came up with different methods for making them. Kenny seems to like it for his. You have to buy a desk. McCraden, how is your cutting skills? You can almost take one of the little shoulder plates and cut sections out and leave gaps and have Necron bodies behind it. Absinthe, you're a Necron player and painter, right? Please chime in. What would your dream be? Yeah, it was just an idea there, McCraden. If you cut some of the plates and leave gap, but it would be really difficult to get them to hover. But definitely Dremel off all that Imperial trim line. Absinthe, he is trying to embellish an Imperial Knight to be Necron. Gonna do an Imperial Knight commission, an Imperial Knight Necron conversion soon. Got any tips? No, I don't, Mystic Scorpion. The one I was putting out is my own personal one that I was doing a conversion for. That was going to be very ecclesiastic. The other Knight kit that I have in the house is reserved for the giveaway. So I didn't assemble that one because I need to know before I start assembling if it's going to go Imperial or Renegade and what kind of styles. But heck, I might have to make it Necron now, right, McCraden? And McCraden, if you don't want to stream it, you can remember you can still record your videos of your works. Oh, what am I doing? I have nothing here on show and tell. I've got bases. Oh, let's pull out the Crackle stuff. That's where I'm going to wind down here. So I've been on for 3 hours. That's weird for me, but I banged the camera. No. Yeah, man festival. I know how to do a Nurgle conversion of Tau. It's called a hot glue gun. And just goo the crap out of him. He slimed me. Make him funky. Mr. Scorpion, I've actually seen an Imperial Knight. The guy left the legs off. He used a Chimera, an Imperial Guard Chimera, and he put it on there kind of like these little destroyers because he had an MP3 player and wiring and lights in there to play music when it was his turn. Yeah, you could, Mystic, you could do that. An Imperial Knight Baneblade Kit Bash. Anytime you wanted. And we'll talk about magnetizing that waist in such a way that you could have the torso magnetized to the top turret where you'd still have a Baneblade tank and an Imperial Knight. You'd still have the full Imperial Knight too. But then you could smash them together anytime you wanted. If I roll a gets hot, the weapon fails to charge, right? Yes, the weapon fails to shoot on a gets hot. Mrs. Scorpion, you were looking at the parts on eBay. What new parts? I thought the Bane Blade and the Imperial Knight kits would be complete for you. Do I have it? Ah! Hosted. Oh. I sort of have Space Marines to show off. My personal Space Marines are not painted. I have these guys started, but I never did their bases. But they're not glued to their bases. These are the pewter Grey Knights. If you want to see hilarity, I mean, I've got all these white scars. Have it said. Welcome in and thank you for the host. Where is the hilarious box? Yeah, all my scouts, all my 20 scouts are pewters. My Black Templar ones. Never did do the decals on the shoulders. I got 5 of those. But the truly hilarious is these are my Space Marines. It's a combination of pewters and the original plastics. The plastic clamp packs. Oh, and I have a few of the Mark 7s, but these are like the original ones. I like my Destroyers with the shoulder firing, but I don't have anything painted for you. Here's an old, yeah, the original Captain Centos. Here's his cloak. If anybody checks my Facebook page, they'll see this next to the Captain Centos conversion I made for a client that he was very happy with. That would be we were asked earlier, that was a Tier 2 plus character paint job. Characters get extra love, extra time. But I got 8 of the original Devastators. I've got Space Wolf Devastators like this. Yeah, I love the old bolters. They had some bulk to them. But yeah, there are a whole bunch of them in here. So I could technically play, I got enough sergeants too when they had grenade launcher in the rules. Sergeants with the banner pole. So I could do the min-maxing, sergeant +4, sergeant +4, sergeant +4. Devastators could do that. The original metal ones. See the pins in the shoulders? I actually got these in sale. It has to be nearly 20 years ago in a hobby store. When I was working at Hungate's. Oh, here's funny. The original combat knives. The Space Sharks I have since. I don't even know when they got started as a thing. But yeah, they're in the game. It's like a Forge World chapter. Not that the game system itself needs more assault-based Marines. Yes, I've always liked the Scout model. The pewter Scout model. And I put these guys in here because I was planning on stripping them. And of course, then the Black Templars came out. I'm like, oh, Neophytes again. Hooray! But I got the close combat guys all kitted out and painted up. I have some plastics in here. I actually threw my Space Wolf Scouts in the, working on a Camo Scout shotgun guy. Any chapter. But yeah, there's about 30 Scouts there. And I have some of the Scout Bikers. Ooh. And then my conversion bucket. Here we go. Ultramarine Meltagunners. Tier 1. With a little bit of wash. Got them base coated. Ready for play. Ready for, what's that formation? Skyhammer Annihilation Force. And these guys were all what I was going to make for Deathwatch before the Vanguard came out. So I was kit bashing and reposing legs to make Assault Marine guys. You can tell by the dust. Yeah, the old classic Apothecary. One of the veterans. Twin Dinner Forks. Power Fist Bolter. And here's my Librarius of Conclave. Pewter, pewter, and pewter. You have to be this high to ride the warp. And this was going to be a Deathwatch captain. Kind of looks like, what's his face? Gabriel Angelos. Oh, and some base work from thick cork. Really thick cork. Guys, if you want to use cork on your bases, I got a recommendation for you. I bought this by accident. The ultra thin glue, I mean, it runs everywhere. You know, wear rubber gloves if you're going to use this because it's going to be on your hands eventually. I take this stuff and I pour it on the cork and it turns the corks into rocks. And I don't have to worry about a model prying off because of the cork tearing. Oh, here we go. Black Templar Axe. Black Templar. But I sold the Black Templar army about 2 summers ago. I need the money. Last Cannon Marine. Do not have Grav. Don't ask. I wish I did. And then I have 5 pewter dreadnoughts in this drawer over here, which I'm not going to pull out. But I have lots and lots of Grey Knights. About 20 power armor guys. 15 termies, all pewter. That's the show. Oh, here we go. Hey, Xenograd, go look on the web. They're actually making a plastic Guilliman. He is huge. He's back in 40K. It's gonna make that 30K Primarch picture look like nothing when I have to paint this thing up. Can somebody send a link or show a link to the Warhammer community featuring the new Guilliman model? Oh. Time to recharge my wet palette. But I was also probably going to finish up the stream, and I actually have to knuckle down on some work. It's that time. Now, Kenny and Mike are in LVO, so Mike's stream won't be tomorrow, Mike Haspel's. I might stream same time tomorrow night. What do you guys think? Yeah, pewter termies are so small. Oh, God. The original pewter chaos terminators. And then later on came the plastic Space Marines. They're so small. Oh, Valor Steel. When did you sneak in, man? Come on in. Oh, I can't open the rest of the drawer. The lamp's in the way. But yeah, anybody want old metal Terminators? Mugen and Shipai. I think I sneezed. Okay, guys. A little quick tech. One house sponge. One plastic case, which is waterproof. This case actually is made for storing photographs to keep the air out. Oop, needs to be recharged a little bit. One sponge. It's actually 1.5 sponge. A piece of paper towel. I'm using Viva because it's thicker and cheaper. I add some water because I live in a desert. I don't normally need to add water. And I get it nice and damp. If it's not damp enough on top, I've got a little spray bottle, pump, 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 and I smooth it out. This would be my wet palette, guys. I like it extra damp, so it's kind of a thinning to it when I'm working with it. Oop, lost the face cam. Oh, there's the link. Yeah, he's a big Primarch. He's got some extra swirly armor trim to him. I mean, he's like ready for conversions. Fluff-wise, I think it probably would have been better for the game system if the lion resurrected instead of Gilliman waking up. It would have really boosted the Dark Angel play a lot more. Let's see what you guys are saying. Don't say no to chaos. Imperial Guard, the elite of humanity. People often forget that. Yeah, right. Go see a Leg Division, or go watch some old movies of how they used to play the Imperial Guard, like the Soviet conscript regiments. It's how many bodies can you pour into it? It took a while for them to generate the fluff where they would have the elite units, where they'd have the good stormtroopers. It took an Abnett novel or two. Tell you that for nothing. Darn Abnett, he gets to try out stuff and eventually makes rules. But the boring stuff that I have to do for the rest of the night is finish these bases and these, get some bigger progress on the breachers. But to finish off the bases, I go to my Crixbane base, and then I do a little light dry brushing of the highlight. Humanity is massive. Yeah, it's because of all the corn products and the food. Oh, not that kind of massive. I'm sorry. My bad. Oh, you can't see what I was doing there. But I use these two colors for anything that wasn't a metal section. So like this whole area here with a brush too small for the project. And this is overbrushing where I'm painting, but I'm letting the cracks stay dark. I want to get the high sections. Even if there's some silver in there. And I probably won't wash these. I'll just go right to dry brushing. Ah, ran out of paint. Need a different brush too. DKK? Who is the DKK? Did not know. Do, do, do. See what you guys are talking about. As I'm doing a little bit of basing work here. Here we go. Once again, I'm using the largest brush I can get away with to get some speed back into my efficiency. Oh, Death Corpse with Krieg. Okay. I didn't know people were abbreviating that. Just how long I've been out of the hobby. The Worf effect? Is this a Star Trek reference? Leave my Space Wolves alone. Actually, Man Festival, the original Space Wolves, and I'm talking second edition, third edition, they were Vikings with a wolf motif, not werewolves. That did not start. Yeah, they always had the Canis Helix thing. So they always had the chance of going extra furry, but it was more of a motif with the gene seed backing it up of the wolf, not werewolves. That's a 5th edition stuff, and we all know how crazy 5th edition fluff went. Yeah, I see what you mean here. That's a good one, Gabriel. I like that, the Worf effect. Xenogreg, write that one down. Problem with the Worf effect was they never had any kind of episodes that where Worf got to play a badass. No bar fights with bodies everywhere, and him just standing there going, where's my prune juice? I think that's where they missed on Worf. Yes, they Man Festival. They made the deplorable Wolven, which was kind of in the fluff. They just went so werewolfy. Um, Mark of the Wolven was third edition Space Wolf Codex. It was like a solo character, um, since replaced with the lone wolf guy. And Wolven, and there were Wolven for the original Eye of Terror campaign, the original 13th Black Crusade. This is the reboot. This is the, oh, we're going to fix this. Abaddon's going to try it again. And then they brought the Wolven out. But that was always in the fluff. Yeah, don't rag on my Space Wolves and I'll leave your tower alone. For letting you watch, you're welcome to come in and watch. Come on in, Darth Thrower. Thank you for coming in and for following. That's why we're here. We got to share the hobby stuff. Ooh, Ghost Kill. I gotta assemble one of those. I'm only groaning about the assembly is because I'm kind of pre-painting it in my head for my client. Like, what's the most efficient way of doing this? Because there's a lot of white. But I want to get the black too. So, groan. Oh man, how am I going to do this most efficiently? Yes, Gabriel. The models ain't cheese. How people are applying them is what's making them cheesy. Thank you, Twinner. How you doing? I'm just kind of doing the grunt work on these bases here that need to be done, which is kind of off camera. And we were talking fluff, which is a lot better than talking smack. Yeah, I get problems on really cool models, and then the players get a hold of them, and it's, what the hell are you doing? It's not an apocalypse battle. In case y'all don't know, Twinner Irving is the other half of the Basement Collective. I know they were streaming a battle report today. I know it's cliche, Irvin, but which one of you two was playing? Which one was monitoring the chat and the stream? Was it you or your brother? Yes, Absent makes pretty models. She does good work. Okay, I gotta move that. Okay. Have you guys thought of well, in battles where you have one of you monitoring the stream? You ever thought of like throwing up little graphics for explosion marks and errors of who moved where? I always thought that would be really cool for um, pre-recorded bat reps, so you kind of see what's going on. The sharpest cheddar. Zeno's cheese. Mo Larry cheese. Mo Larry cheese. Uh-oh. It's gonna be a challenge. Man Festival. I mean, Twinner, I shall shoot all your wolves. Of course you're gonna shoot all your wolves, because that's all you can do. Shoot. Can't fight. Yes, Iron-Headed went there. Oh, Irving. Here we go. Ancient paint job. I like scouts. I always have. I don't know the, oh man, the music stopped. Oh no. Wow. I went through 3 hours of music. That must mean the stream is over. So, guys, who can we go raid? And if not raid, who can we pass the torch to? And bring all you cool hobbyists and game players and fellow streamers and friends. Where can we go? Who can we go annoy? Twinner, does Murderfang have access to Lucius Pattern Drop Pod? Let's see. I am checking who else is streaming. Oh, I think Jinkuza's on right now. I've been informed Chinkuza's on. Unless y'all go want to hang out with Devi Cat. Tabletop Online would probably kill the miniature department for a while. Very cute, Absinthe. Very cute. We all make excuses. Okay, well, I tell you what. Let's all go pile into Chinkuza's room and see how he's doing and scare the crap out of him. Because how many people we have? 64. I am all glad that everybody of the 64-bit people showed up. And let's go hang out with Chinkuza. So thanks again. Do look for me tomorrow or watch on my Facebook page. I'll make an announcement if I am committed to streaming tomorrow. I don't see why not. But if I got to work, I got to work. Otherwise, I'll fill in for Haspel. I will follow Slow Fuse Gaming. And that will be that. So for now, y'all have a good night.